Tom, great to speak with you once again. If you could start by explaining what prompted this decision to give back some of the policy premium and whether there's any kind of historical precedent for this. I know we haven't had a pandemic or a forced shutdown of the economy in our lifetimes, but I wonder if there's any event that served as a playbook for you in making this decision.
Well, Scarlet, that's a good place to start, which is we've been in the catastrophe business for 89 years. And, mostly it's hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, which are geographically more concentrated and shorter in duration. So we've never seen anything like this. But what we have seen is we know what works in those cases, which is act quickly and put people first. So after about a week, frequency, the number of people driving, we see how many people drive every day, how far they drive, how fast they drive, about 23 million cars. And so we could see in the beginning of March, it was fine. About March 15th, it started going down. By the time you got that 25th, it was 35 to 50% lower. So after a week's worth of data, we're like, this is different. We need to do something differently. And we decided we should reach out to our customers and not wait for them to ask, but to be in the spirit of fairness, go back to them and say, hey, you're not driving. You should get money back. So we created this shelter-in-place payback, which is 15% or about $600 million over 2 months.
And so what's the general criteria here, Tom, for people getting this? Is this pretty much just a blanket for all of your customers, or is there certain thresholds that people need to meet to get that?
No threshold needed. If you're an auto insurance customer for us in any of either Allstate, Esurance, or Encompass, you get 15% back. We did it by state, Romaine, because there's really not that much difference in how much people are driving in every state. And by doing it it could be simpler. We put a minimum dollar amount on it. We have it set up in our app so you can get it into your credit card. You can put it into your checking account. Or if you want, you can just take it as a credit as you come. But we wanted to make sure people could have the money as quickly as possible. So we did it on relatively little data, which is, for insurance companies, a little new. So we're all finding new barriers we have to break down. And we assumed this was going to keep going for a while, but we just thought it was the right thing to do.
Got it. So speed was definitely of the essence here. Now, our Bloomberg intelligence analysts say that this shelter-in-place payback program will reduce your first quarter EPS by about 16% and affect the second quarter, but that may be offset by fairly low first quarter catastrophe costs and a drop in auto traffic nationwide. Does that sound about right to you?
So we put out, yes, we haven't seen a tremendous number of catastrophes. You can look at just the Weather Channel and see that. Obviously, frequency is down, which is why we're doing this. And so we feel good about doing this because we're in a strong place. But we also felt like it was worth taking the risk going forward because our customers are dealing with this, and we don't think we're going to automatically start driving, back the way we were at the beginning of March or in February next week. It's going to take a while to get back. The other thing we did was decide to protect people for their identity. So we're giving free identity protection as well.
I saw that, and that's not limited to Allstate policyholders either, is it?
No, it's not, Scarlet. We looked and we said, okay, what can we do for our customers? Of course, first thing we said for our customers, we can get money back. Then we said, everybody's digital today. So if you're a third grader, you're going to school online, or you're working from home, you're online. And the number of phishing attacks related to coronavirus is up like 600 or 700%. And we say, people aren't that used to protecting themselves. So we can make it available to everybody, and it's free. So free is free. This is not one of those deals where you sign up, and if you forget to call us, then we keep billing your credit card. This is for the rest of the year. You don't have to be an Allstate customer. You go to our website or our app, and you can get free identity protection, which we believe people need. And I guess it's just this, we feel this spirit that we got to come together, and everybody's got to lean in and do something different because this is not like normal catastrophes.
Right, right. I really appreciate the data that you're able to offer there on the phishing and the cyber threats that we might face, particularly when it comes to our personal identity online. Having said all of that, a lot of us are flying blind here because this is not something we've experienced before. And you alluded to that as much, even when you put in the shelter-in-place payback program. What kind of visibility do you don't have into the second half of this year? I know the first quarter got really disrupted. The second quarter, everything's just kind of up in the air. But what about the second half of the year? What are you thinking about? How are you thinking about it?
Well, first, we're thinking the world's going to be different than it is today, and nobody really knows how. And so the first thing we say is, well, the way you get through that is working together and having trust. So that's one of the reasons we did this, is we want people to trust us and be fair as we go through it. As you look at specifically, people will get back to driving. About a third of our time is spent driving to work, a third to do errands, and a third to see friends and family. And at least two of those have been hit pretty hard. But I believe once we get through shelter in place, people will start going back. How much, though, is unclear, right? Like if you're working at home 5 days a week right now and suddenly say, I could do it pretty well 2 days. I could work at home 2 days a week. So suddenly driving is down by 2/5. So we don't know that. We also don't know what's really going to happen to the cost of accidents, because we do, sorry.
So, Tom,
we do have,
there are some. Go on. I'm sorry. Go on, Tom.
Sorry. So I was just saying we don't really know about the type of accidents, because we do monitor 23 million cars, a couple of million of which are our customers, but we do a much broader set around the country. We can see that while driving is down, people are going a little faster, and it could be because no one's on the road and they're speeding. So we don't really know how severe the accidents will be. We also don't know what will happen to the homeowners business, because clearly if you're at home, nobody's coming in your house and stealing stuff. On the other hand, because so many families have come together, people have moved out of places and there's empty houses, and we don't know what's happening to those yet. So what we do know is it's going to be different, and if we act quickly and we make sure we take care of our customers, we'll be fine.